Once again, very good morning. In this class, we are going to learn about bonds and bond valuation. So we'll understand what are the bonds, what are the characteristics of bonds, and who will be issuing the bonds, and who will be taking that bonds, and why you should take as an investor. So we'll understand basic fundamental things of bonds and also the theorems of bonds, and also we are going to solve some problems on bonds. Is it fine? So ready? So now I would like to just ask very basic question. What do you mean by a bond? Who can tell in your own words? Let it be it's wrong, no problem, but you should tell. So what are bonds? Let's understand bonds. We understood some of the basic things. Now we'll understand more. Bonds meaning. See, that is what we understood. Debt instrument. Debt andre ಏನು? What do you mean by debt? Loan. It's nothing but when you buy, you now you are what? Public. You are buying means what? You are giving loan to me. Who am I now? In this example, I am a company. If you buy one bond, that means one worth of that bond you are giving a loan to me. So ಸಾಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಸಾಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ? ಬಡ್ಡಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That is what we call interest. So it's a debt instrument. Bonds are called as debt. DEBT, debt. Pronunciation debt. Debtala. What is this? Debt. Debt instrument. Borrowing tool. For me, for a company, it is a borrowing. ಸಾಲ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. It is a tool which enables me to borrow from you. That's why it is called as borrowing tool. Third, investors, which are lenders. So you are in our example, you are investors, which is equal to you are lending money. ಸಾಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ನಾನು ಸಾಲ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. That's why investor is equal to lenders. Issuers, the person, I mean the corporate or a government issues the bond. ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ? ಇಶ್ಯೂವರ್. Issuer is equal to borrower. Are you understanding? I am the borrower. I am issuing what? Bond. So I am borrowing what? Money. Funds. I am borrowing funds from you. Any doubt up to this? Understood? So bond is a financial instrument, Chinamma. It is also one type of security. It is also called as debt instrument. Correct? And it is also called as borrowing tool. Investors in this, investors are lenders. You are giving money to the corporate. So the corporate is borrower by issuing what? Bonds. Very, very simple. Any doubt? Clear? Okay. Done. Next, bonds features. ಇದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು, ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡೋದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅಥವಾ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮೈಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳೋದು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಎನಿಹೌ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೂ ದಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗುಣ ಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳು. Bond features, right? The first one, fixed interest, right? Interest ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್. ಯಾರು ಸಾಲ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಯಾರು ಸಾಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್, ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ವೇರಿ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರೈಟ್, maturity date, there will be some maturity date. Now what is this maturity date? Maturity date, expiry date. Very good. See, always remember, I'll show you the bond example also. Okay, bond antandre is a piece of paper where everything agreement will be there. Okay, so what are the things? Face value will be there. So face value, maturity date, okay, and even interest rate. These three things will be there on the bond. So who is issuer of a bond? The person who is issuer, corporate or government. They will issue. Who is buyer of that bond? Public. It can be public or any financial institution. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ದು ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟಿವ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಒಂದು ಇತ್ತು, ನೀವು ಬೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಬಿಹಾಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಬೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಇವನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಅ ಫರ್ಮ್. ಎಸ್ ಅಭಿಲಾಷ್? ಓಕೆ, ಏನಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಅ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ firm or financial institution, right? So what are the three things will be there? Fixed interest will be there, maturity date will be there, and face value. First, that bond, these three things will be there. One is face value. What is the meaning of face? Face ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಸೊ ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು ಬಾಂಡಿಗೆ ಅದರದೇ ಆದ ಒಂದು ಮುಖಬೆಲೆ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತದೆ. We call it as face value. So for example, let us take in our example 100 rupees. One bond face value is 100 rupees. So in that piece of document, it will be written face value. Okay, mukabele face value 100 rupees. Okay, maturity date, it may be of 1 year, 3 years, Supriya. It may be of 5 years and 10 years, sometimes 99 years. Right? So depending upon the issuer. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸಮ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್. ಬರೀ 6 ತಿಂಗಳ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವಿತಿನ್ 1 year we call it as short term instruments. We are not calling it as bond. Bond is a long term instruments. Is it clear? So ವರ್ಷಾನ್ಗಟ್ಲೆ 5 years, 10 years, 3 years, minimum 3 years, right? So ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಡೇಟ್ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರೆದಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಯಾವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಮೆಚೂರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಂಡ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಎಂಡ್ ಡೇಟ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೈರಿ ಡೇಟ್, ಆ ಡೇಟ್ ತನಕ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾನು ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್, ನೀವ್ಯಾರು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಯರ್ ಐ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಪೇ ಯು ದ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್. ನಾ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತೀನಿ 10%, for example, for our understanding. So what is the face value in our example? 100. What is the interest rate? So every year what I should, being a corporate or a government, what I should pay you? 10 rupees. How you got 10 rupees, Abhilash? 10% of 100. 10 by 100 into 100. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ? Face value into interest rate gives you the interest amount. Very, very simple. Clear? Any doubt? Then the last point, credit rating. What do you mean by credit rating? Before I move to the credit rating, now I want you to open up your mobile, okay, in Google or anything, you search for any bond, any company bond. This is one of the example. Listen on the screen, students. Randomly 100 rupee bond it is. Premium price bond 1963. Aita. So what is mentioned? What is the face value here? 100 rupees. 100 rupees. What is the rate? I need to find out. It is not given. Okay. So what face value? We learnt about face value, right? What is the face value of this bond? So 3 things will be sure on the bond. One is face value, one is rate of return, and even maturity date, expiry date. Okay. Anyhow, it is not there in this, but the example which Uzma got, so it was a maturity date was how much? 30 years. What is the rate of interest? Karthik, what is the rate of interest? Have you got in your WhatsApp group? Artha aita? Any doubt? This is one bond. So the which you are seeing, it is given by US government, but this one government of India is giving. Now question is where you can buy if you want to uh, buy it, where you can buy, how you will get to know? Yes, stock broking companies or directly from the government websites. You will get to know through stock broker only you need to buy. Very, very simple. Clear? Are understanding? Right. See, 4% by US government. So now it should be more than your fixed deposit rate of interest. Otherwise, you will not buy. Will you agree? Will you agree? Correct? Right. Anyhow. So what do you mean by credit rating? ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಬಾಂಡ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಹೌದಾ ಸುಪ್ರಿಯಾ? ಆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಬಿಲೀಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್? There should be some ranking, right? That is called as credit ranking. So credit ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದು ರ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ರೀಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as credit rating agencies. Okay, so we will rate the corporates and governments. By seeing that credit ranking, you will believe. Artha aita? Now credit ranking agencies. Type in a Google credit ranking agencies. CRISIL. Then ICRA. CRISIL full form. Full form of CRISIL, Credit Rating Information Service of India Limited. These are the questions will be asked in the interview. That is the reason I am making you to understand. Clear? You are searching on your own because you will remember. What is the function of credit rating agencies? They will give ratings for the corporate. Correct? On what basis? Their credit ability. World kodtara illa. Bond types. So started with bond meaning, features, right? Then bond types. Government bonds. What do you mean by government bonds? Issued by to the then corporate bonds issued by the companies, corporates. Zero coupon bond. Zero coupon bond means no interest. Face value 100 rupees bond. So now I am issuing zero coupon bond in which there will be no interest. No interest. But the value, the face value is 100 rupees. I am issuing at 70 rupees. I am issuing at 70 rupees. At maturity, I need to give. I need to pay back 100 rupees. Okay, face value 100 rupees na ನಿಮಗೆ 70 rupees. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಅದ ಹಂಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ then I need to give back to you 100 rupees at the time of maturity. Is it clear? So those kind of bonds are called as zero coupon bonds. Coupons andre ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? Interest. Coupon rate, or it is also called as interest rate. Right? Understanding? So simple. Coupons andre bond ಜೊತೆಗೆ coupons ಬರ್ತಾವ. For example, if 5 years bond ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 coupons ಬರ್ತಾವ. So first year coupon ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು you can sell it or you can issue to the corporate where they will pay the interest. ಮುಂಚೆ ಈ ತರ ಇತ್ತು, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇವಾಗ ಹಂಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಕೂಪನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರೋಲ್ಲ. ಮುಂಚೆ ಹೆಂಗಿತ್ತು, ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಾಪಿ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಓಕೆ, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ 5 ಕೂಪನ್ಸ್, 5 years is the maturity, right? you need to give coupon, one coupon at the end of first year, second coupon at the end of second year, so that you will be getting what? Interest. So ಇವಾಗ ಆ ಥರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಟ್, there is no hard copy. So every year you will be getting what? Interest. So ಅವಾಗಿಂದ ಕೂಪನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು, ಕೂಪನ್ ರೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. So now it is interest rate. Is it clear? Any doubt? What do you mean by convertible bonds? Converted into shares. The bonds which will be having a features of converting into shares, those bonds are called as convertible bonds. Clear? So these are the types of bonds. So one by one, which are first type? Government bonds, corporate bonds, zero coupon bonds. Everything is okay? Shall we proceed? Right. Bonds risk. Now first you should tell, what do you mean by risk? Possibility of loss, and also variance in the expected returns. It's called as risk. So bond risk, the risk which are involved when you buy bonds. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Which are those? First one, interest rate risk. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವೊಂದು ಕಂಪ್ನಿನ 10% ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನ, ನೀವು ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? 10% ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀರ ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿರಿ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? RBI ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಅದು 12% ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಅದೇ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ವೇರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೈಟ್? ಆರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್? ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ರಿಸ್ಕ್. Now second, default risk. Default risk is that risk where the corporate may not pay your principal amount only. Forget about the interest. Yes, that is called as default rate. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ರೈಟ್. ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಗೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ನೋ, ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆ ಬೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, I am a corporate, you bought it from me, okay, but you want to sell, 5 ವರ್ಷದ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ನೀವು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡೋ, ರಿಡೆಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತೂ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಬೈಯರೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್? ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್. ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ, you may not get the buyer. That is one. Second is, first of all, even the corporate people will be having a marketability risk. How? Na issue madak ready iddini, no one is buying it. That is also called as marketability risk for the corporate. So for public or individual, after buying, you may not get the secondary market to sell. Right? So that is called as marketability risk. Right? Then callability. Callability ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಸರ್ ಇದು? ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೋತೀನಿ. Callability risk I am explaining. See, the corporate when it issues a bond, it will be having every right to call back. Even the fixed maturity date is 5 years. In our example, 5 years. I can call after 2 years, ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ರ ವಾಪಸ್. ನೀವು ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. That is called as callability. I'll be having a rights. Company will be having a rights. So which are the risk? Interest rate risk, default risk, marketability risk, and callback.
Firstly, good morning to everyone. My name is Rakshita. Let us see about the bonds. The first one is meaning of bond. Bonds are the securities. It is also known as the financial instrument, and it is also known as a debt instrument, and also the borrowing tool. It is investors is equal to lenders and issuers is equals to borrowings. The next are the bond features. The first one is fixed interest rate. There will be a fixed interest rate on the bonds. The next one is maturity date. Maturity date is nothing but there will be a certain time period for issuing the bonds. For example, 1 year or the 5 years. Face value is nothing but issuing it at the par. If, for example, if the bond value is 100 rupees, the company will issue the bond at the 100 rupees to the public itself. The next one is credit rating. These are the ratings which are provided by the credit rating agencies. Usually these credit rating agencies provide the ratings to the companies on the basis of their credit worthiness of the company. Next.
What is the use of that?
uh,
Saying that
it will help the investors to know about the credit worthiness of the company. Based on that, they'll buy the bonds. The next one is government bonds. Government bonds are the bonds which are issued by the government to the public, and the corporate bonds are the bonds which are issued by the companies to the public. The next one is zero coupon bonds. Zero coupon bonds is nothing but there will be no interest rate on the bonds. Usually, for example, if the bond value is 100 rupees, the company will issue the bonds to the public at discounted rate. But while purchasing, they'll buy it back at the face value itself. The next one is convertible bonds. Here the bonds are easily convertible to the shares. The next one is the bond risk. First one is interest rate risk. For example, if I am the investor, I'll buy the companies or the government bonds at the fixed interest rate. One more risk is the government, the RBI will change the fixed interest rate, so again it will be difficult to the public. The next one is default risk. Default risk will happen when the company is not making any profit. Marketability risk is
a risk which
where the
company may default paying the
interest to the interest to the public. Marketability risk is nothing but usually being a company or the government, we try to issue the bonds to the public, but there will be no public to buy those bonds. The next one is callability risk. Callability risk is nothing but if there is a certain time period. For example, if there is a 5 years time duration, before that only the company or the government will try to repurchase the bonds which is issued to the public. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Supriya. Today we'll speak about the bonds, the meaning of the bonds. It is an financial tool or instrument which is provided by the government or the financial institution to the public to raise funds. It is also called as a debt instrument, a borrowing tool, which is issued, as I said, like which is issued by the government or the investors for the public. Next comes the features of the bonds. First one is the fixed interest rate. In this, the interest rate will be fixed, and the maturity date there will be a fixed rate. I mean, like fixed period of time. It may be 1 year, 2 years, or it long last for 5 years also. And comes the face value. While issuing the bonds, there will be a price, like value will be fixed. At this price, the bond will be issued. And comes the credit rating. It is nothing but the financial institution like says the credit worthiness of the company, so that what gonna be useful for the investors, like they'll understand the financial stability of the company before investing. And then comes the bond types. The first one is government bonds. It's nothing but the government issues the bonds to the public, and the corporate bonds, the companies or the corporate societies will issues the bonds to the public. And the zero coupon bonds is nothing but the bonds are issued at the discounted. The bonds are issued at the discounted price. At the time of the redeemable, it will be redeemed at the face value. And next comes the convertible bonds. Here the bonds can be easily converted into shares. And next comes the bond risk. The first one is interest rate risk. This usually happens because of the inflation going on in the market. And the default risk, where the companies fail to pay the principal amount to the investors or the public. And comes the marketability risk, where in the market the buyers become less. And comes the callability risk. Callability risk is nothing but the period of the time will be fixed, but the companies redeem, sell or issues before the maturity period. Thank you.
Once again, good morning, everyone. I am Chinna Malesanamat. Let's understand what is the bonds, different types of bonds, and features of the bonds. Bonds, it is an debt instrument. It is as known as a long-term financial instrument, a borrowing tool which issues by the government or a company to raise the funds from the public, and the bonds who purchase the bonds, he is called known as a investor and as well as a lender, and who issues the bonds, he is known as a issuer or a borrower. Let's understand what are the features of the bonds. Fixed interest, the first feature is fixed interest. Usually bonds has a fixed rate of interest which is given by the company to the public. uh, and second one is maturity date. Bonds usually has a expiry date or the end date. For example, it can be a 1 year, 5 year, 7 year, 10 year, etc. So face value, bonds has a some face value. Suppose a company issues a bond on rupees 100, so rupees 100 it is an a face value for that particular bond. And credit rating it is given by the credit rating agencies, so which it is help to invest whether the investor should invest in the particular company or not. And let's understand what are the different types of bonds. The first one is government bonds. So the bonds which are issued by the government to the public, it is known as the government bonds. And corporate bonds, which are the bonds issued by the corporate or a company to the public. And zero coupon bonds, these zero coupon bonds has no fixed regular interest, and it is issued at a discount price and redeemed at a face value on a maturity time. And convertible bonds, these are the bonds which can be easily convertible into shares. And issuing a bonds has some risk, like a interest rate risk. When government issues interest rate regulatory acts like repo rate, reverse repo rate, so this will impact the bonds rate. And default risk, which is a company may fail to give the principal amount also and as well as the interest rate. And marketability risk, in this risk a company wants to issue bonds but there are no buying those issues. And also it can be vice versa, when company wants to sell the issues but there is no public to buy it. And collaborative risk, it is a risk where company can get back the shares within the maturity date. Yes, sir. Within that. Redeem back the bonds within the maturity date. Thank you.
Done. Now, before I move forward, I want to make you understand credit rating. AAA, IS safety, A bar A, BBB, BB, and D. Key agencies: CRISIL, ICRA, CARE Rating, India Rating and Research. Okay, let's understand bond returns. So, to continue with, let us now understand bond returns. So, what do you mean by bond returns? First of all, I already told you two types of returns. One is interest and capital gain. So, we'll understand one by one. Holding period return. So, what do you mean by holding period return? So, holding period return is equal to the price gain or loss during the holding period plus coupon rate whole divided by price at the beginning of the holding period. Very simple. Holding period ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಎಷ್ಟು ಡ್ಯೂರೇಷನ್ ನೀವು ಆ ಒಂದು ಬಾಂಡ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಅದು 2 years ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, 6 years ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ 6 months ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್? ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಡೇಟ್ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿರ್ತದೆ. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಗೆ within the maturity date. So you can hold any bond for 1 day also or up to the maturity period. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So what is a holding period? Nevo. Okay, let me explain with one example, our own example. Now I am a corporate. I issued a bond to you. You bought it from me. That is my company. So for 100 rupees, maturity date is 5 years. 10 rupees is the coupon amount, or a rate is 10%. So every year you will be getting what? 10 rupees. So you will hold that for only 2 years. So holding period is what? 2 years. Even the maturity period is 5 years. You hold that bond only for 2 years. So at the end of 2 years, what you do? You sell it for XYZ person. So you need to find out a holding period rate. How to find out? Returns. What is the returns on your holding period? ಎಷ್ಟು ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೋ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿಕ್ತೋ. 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರಿ ನನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಯಿಂದ, ನೀವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ರಿ? ನೀವು 120 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಟ್ರಿ. You sold at 120. So what is the return you got? So first is price gain or capital gain. 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇರೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ರಿ ನೀವು? 120. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್? 20 rupees. Then ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಕೂಪನ್ ರೇಟ್. ಆ 2 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿಕ್ತು? ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿಕ್ತು? 10 ರೂಪಾಯಿ. ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು ಟೋಟಲಿ? ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು ಟೋಟಲ್? ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? 1 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ 10 ರೂಪಾಯಿ, 2 ವರ್ಷ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ 20 ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ 20, ಕೂಪನ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ 20 rupees ಆಯ್ತು. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಗೇನ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? ಟೋಟಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? 40. 40 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಎಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರಿ? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್? Returns on holding period, how much? 40%. 40 divided by 100 into 100. 40%. Any doubt? Current yield. So what is the difference between, first of all, holding period return and current yield? See here, you are going to use the what you bought it. Here it is a current market price. So in our example, okay, first let me tell you, current yield is equal to annual coupon payment divided by current market price. So you are not selling it, you are finding the current yield. Current yield. So in our example, again, I am a corporate. I issued a 100 rupees bond to you for 10 rupees, sorry, 10%, and maturity period is 5 years. Correct? So after 2 years, the market value of the bond which I issued is 120 rupees in the secondary market. You are not selling, but you are just finding what is the current yield. Are understanding? So what is the current price? 120 in the secondary market. ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ, 120 rupees ಆಗೈತೆ. So what is the current yield? Okay, annual coupon payment ಎಷ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? 10 rupees divided by 120. What is the percentage? 8.33. So that is the current yield. Very, very simple. Any doubt up to this? See, clear? Understood? So current yield is equal to annual coupon payment divided by current market price. Now we are going to understand very, very important concept, YTM. What is that? Yield to maturity. What is that yield to maturity? See, all these three are different, and there may be a question in the interview. What do you mean by YTM? What do you mean by holding period return? What do you mean by current yield? Okay, so YTM, that is yield to maturity, is the rate of return that an investor can expect to earn if the bond is held till maturity. See, you are an investor, so you can find out YTM for you. Company can't find out, because bond is taken by investor. So for investor, if he or she holds the security till its maturity, then that expected return, rate of return, is nothing but YTM, that is yield to maturity. yield to maturity. Simple. Yield to maturity. Till, if an investor holds that bond till maturity, what will be the expected return? That is called as yield to maturity. See, a lot of difference. Holding period until you hold it. It may be less than the maturity. Correct? Holding period. Right? There. Then current yield, which uses current market price. Then yield to maturity is the expected rate of return if the investor holds the bond till its maturity. So what is the formula? This is the formula. Formula is YTM. Very, very important. We are going to use this formula to solve the problems. YTM is equal to C plus face value minus present value. FV stand for face value minus present value divided by T. How many years it takes to security to reach maturity? Average of face value and present value. This part is average. Here is average of face value and present value. FV plus PV divided by 2, where C stands for interest or coupon payment amount. A 4-year bond with 7% coupon rate and maturity value of rupees 1000 is currently selling at 905. What is the YTM? A 4 years bond with a 7% coupon rate and maturity value is rupees 1000 is currently selling price, that is market price is 905. What is YTM? So the first thing we need to write down the given coupon rate, that is interest rate, R is equal to 7%, okay, and maturity value, that is face value is 1000, then selling market price, present value is 905, and we need to write down the formula. Formula is YTM is equal to C plus, yes, C plus face value minus present value divided by T whole divided by FV plus PV, that is face value plus present value divided by, so YTM is equal to coupon rate amount, C is equal to, how to find out C? 7 divided by 100 into face value 70 rupees. C is equal to 70. C is equal to 70. 70 plus face value is 1000. Present value is 905, that is 905 divided by 4 years whole divided by 1000 plus 905 by 2. Step by step, YTM is equal to, first you have to solve this part, 1000 minus 905, 95 divided by 4, YTM final answer, first add these two, 93.75 divided by 952.5, 0.098 into 100 we should do, which is equal to 98, 9.8. Very, very simple.